Students, how are you all? Hope all of you are fit and fine at home. So now let's start with our social science class. Students, in our earlier video, we have discussed on the topic means of communication. So in that, I have given you some homework. Have you done that homework? Yes. So all those students who have done the homework and mailed me on the school email ID, a very big star for all of them. And those students who have not done the homework yet, students, please do it and mail on the school email ID fast. So now for today, we will just start a new topic. We will discuss about a new topic. And what will be the new topic for today discussion? What we will discuss? We will discuss about means of transport. I know lots of students know about means of transport. You have studied in class 3rd about means of transport. So we will just discuss about means of transport. So students, just tell me, what is a transport? Do you know what is a transport? Yes. So let's study what is transport first. Transportation means moving people and goods from one place to another. So what is transportation or transport? Transportation means moving of people and goods from one place to another. So it is a movement of people and goods from one place to another. It's called transportation. Transportation, in other words, is the action of transport. A transportation is a movement of particular organism or thing from point A to point B. So what does it mean? It is transporting any organism or thing from point A to point B. So it is a movement of organism and thing from point A to point B. Modes of transport include air, land and water. So what are modes of transport? The modes of transport include air, water and land transport. Now we will discuss about modes of transport. Modes of transport is a term used for different ways of transportation or transporting people or goods from one place to another. So what is modes of transportation? Modes of transportation is a term used for different ways. What it is? It is a term used for different ways of transporting or transportation of people or goods from one place to another. Now we have three different modes of transport. First is land transport, second is water transport and third is air transport. Now the three different modes of transport is land transport. Land transport includes rails or railways and roadways. Water transport includes ocean and inland waterways. Air transport includes domestic and international airways. So you can see in this picture modes of transport. There is a road transport where vehicles are moving on road. There is air transport and water transport and rail transport. Now we will talk one by one about all these modes of transport. This is a flowchart. With the help of flowchart, I have showing you how we can make the flowchart of modes of transport. Like we have divided modes of transport into three parts, that is land transport, water transport and air transport. Land transport is further divided into two, that is roadways and railways. Water transport is further divided into two types, that is ocean waterways and inland waterways. Air transport is again divided into two parts, that is domestic airways and international airways. Now we will talk one by one about all these modes of transport. Now we will talk about land transport first. Land transport refers to activities of physical movement of goods and passengers on land. This movement takes place on road and rail. So what is land transport? Land transport refers to all those physical movements of goods and the people on land. And these movement take place with the help of road and rail or train. Now we will talk first about road transport. Road transport is a type of land transport. Roads are means that connect one place to another on the surface of the land. You must have seen roads in your villages, towns and cities. Road transport means transportation of goods and passengers from one place to other on roads. So what does road transport means? Road transport means that transportation of goods and passenger from one place to another by road. Sometimes road transport is the only way for carrying goods and people to and from rural areas which are not catered by rail, water or air transport. So sometimes it happens that only road transport is available to take people and the goods from one place to another, like rural areas, villages, because they are where the rail is not there, train is not there, and water and air transport is not there. Then only land transport, road transport is available, and by road transport only the people and the goods can go from one place to another part of the country. So this is the road transport. Now we will talk about rail transport. Rail transport is a type of land transport and transportation of goods and passenger on rail lines, railway tracks. So the transportation of goods and passengers on railway tracks and railway lines through trains is called rail transport. In India, two types of trains are found. One is passenger train and other is goods train. Passenger trains carry both human beings and a limited quantity of goods. The goods trains are exclusively used for carrying goods from one place to another. Now we will talk about modes of water transport. Now what is water transport, students? Water transport refers to movement of goods and passenger on waterways by using various means like boats, steamers, launchers, ships, etc. With the help of these means of goods and passengers are carried to different places, both within as well as outside the country. So if a person, if a goods we want to transport it from one place to another with the help of water, with the help of waterways, we use water transport. We can use water transport in inside the country also, and if we want to go to other country also, we can use water transport. Now, modes of transport, water transport, ships and boats are means of water transport. They take people and things from one place to another. Water transport help us travel across rivers, lakes and oceans. So, how we can go from water transport? We can go across rivers, lakes and oceans. You can see how boat and ships are moving on waterways on the seas and oceans. These are the means of water transport. Now, the types of water transport. So water transport has two types, like ocean transport and inland transport. So first we will talk about ocean transport. Cheap transport between different countries of the world is called ocean transport. Serve both home and foreign trade. So what is ocean transport? Ocean transport are cheapest transport between countries of the world. So if we want to go from one country to another, we take ocean transport, and it serves both home and foreign trade. Now we will talk about inland waterways. What are inland waterways? It exists in the form of rivers, canals and lakes. So if we want to go from one place, one city to another city, we can have inland waterways transport. It is mainly used to transport goods from one place to another inside or within the country itself. So if we want to transport goods or people from one place to another within the country with the way of waterways, we use inland waterways. Air transport. What is air transport? Movement of people, animal and things from one place to another through air is called air transport. Air transport is the fastest mode of transport. Like we have aeroplane and helicopters. What are means of air transport? What do you mean by airport? Airport is a facility where passengers connect from ground transportation to air transportation. So how we can go from air transport? How we can use air transport? We can use air transport with the help of airport. From which place we can go from one place to another from airways? We use airports. And what are airports? An airport is a facility where passengers connect from ground transport to air transport. Now we have two types of air transport. What are they? Domestic airways or air transport and international airways or air transport. A domestic flights is a means of air transport where the departure and the arrival of flights take place in the same country. So what is domestic air transport? Domestic air transports are where the domestic flights, the domestic planes are being take departure and arrival in the same country. If we want to go from one city to another city in the same country with the help of flights, with the help of aeroplanes, we can use domestic flights and domestic airways. Airports serving domestic flights only are known as domestic airports. So from where we take the domestic flights from one city to another city, that place is known as domestic airports. Domestic flights are generally cheaper and shorter than most international flights. So domestic flights are cheaper. They are not more costlier and shorter than most international flights. So it doesn't take much time to reach from one city to another in the same country. Now we will talk about international airways or air transport. An international flights is the means of air transport where the departure and the arrival of flights take place in different countries of the world. So if we want to go from India to USA or we want to go from India to Singapore, we have to take international flights. And if we want to send any goods from India to Switzerland or Singapore, so we have to take international flights or international air transport. The airports serving international flights are called international airports. Now the conclusion, if we talk about the means of transport, transportation is an important part of national economy. It has progressed at a rapid pace and today there is a wide variety of modes of transport by land, water and air. Public transport still remains the primary mode of transport for most of the population. Despite improvements, several aspects of transport are still rigid with problems due to outdated infrastructure and growing population. And demand for transportation infrastructure and services have been rising by around 10% a year. It's quite often to think that how rapidly we have advanced from slow bullock carts to high-speed bullet trains. So, as we know, means of transport are we are improving on means of transport. We are developing in means of transport. We have lots of means of transport of water, land, and air. So, and we have advanced technologically from bullock carts. Earlier, people were moving from one place to another with the help of bullock carts or with the help of feet. They were walking and then going to one place to another. But now as the technology is developing, as the man is developing, they have developed from bullock carts to high speed bullet trains and aeroplanes. So there is lots of development in means of transport. transportation. Transport is a means to the and not usually an and in itself. So it is only a means to an end. If we want to go for some place, if we want to move from one place to another, we use transport, but it is not an and. When we need to travel, we make choice. So when we want to travel from one place to another, we make a choice whether we want to take land transport, we want to take air transport, or we want to go with water transport. Our choice can affect air quality also. So it is, if we choose if we don't choose the correct choice, we don't have the correct choice, then it will also affect the air quality. So we have to think about the pollution also, that which means of transport will make lots of pollution in the environment. So we should select the right means of transport. Now students, we have discussed about means of transport. We have discussed about different types of modes of transport like land transport, water transport and air transport. We have also discussed about what is land transport, what are the types of land transport. We have roadways and railways. We have discussed about the water transport types, and the types of water transport are inland waterways and ocean waterways. We have discussed about air transport and the types of air transport. Air transport types are domestic flights and international flights. So we have discussed about means of transport. Now there is a homework for you all. And what is the homework for you all? Students, you have to draw two different means of transport and color them neatly. So what you have to do? You have to draw two different types of means of transport and color them neatly. Share the picture with us through email ID, and the email ID of school is vbbvasundharaonlineclasses@gmail.com. So what is the email ID of school? vbbvasundharaonlineclasses@gmail.com, and you have to mention the name, class and subject in a subject box. Thank you and have a nice day.